Rising interest rates, slowing market, all kinds of changes are happening in the Boise housing market and the housing market across the whole United States. So what does this mean for you as a home seller, or if you are thinking of listing your home? I mean, do interest rates even affect you when you're selling? Absolutely they do. So let's dive into all of that today and find out what to expect in our changing housing market if you are thinking of selling a home in the Boise area. I'm Summer Aston, a realtor in the beautiful Boise, Idaho area, and if you enjoy my content, please remember to subscribe and give this video a like. And if you are wondering if now is a good time to sell your home, let's get into that. So this video piggybacks off my market update video for June 2022. So go check that out if you haven't seen it so you understand more context for this video. But anyone who has listed their home recently and has their house sitting on the market for a few weeks with very little showings may be wondering what in the world is going on and how do we get a house sold right now. Days of selling your house for way over asking with multiple offers as we did in 2020 and 2021 have finally come to an end. So why did they end and what's the best selling strategy now? Right up until about April of 2022, our Boise housing market was trucking along. We had fewer listings and less demand, but interest rates were around 4%, and we were still having some multiple offers for over asking, and even with the higher rate. Well, interest rates went to that 5%, which slowed things a bit, and then we also got more inventory as many sellers decided they better sell now if they want to try to get top dollar. So with more inventory and less demand, the market slowed. And then all of a sudden, the rates jumped to 0.5%, and we are now hovering around 6% for interest rates, which has caused a big slowdown in the Boise housing market and really the national housing market as well. So this makes things really tricky if you are a home seller right now. If you listed your home in May when all the comparable sold home data showed a higher list price for your home, and then interest rates rose, and then they rose again, is your home suddenly worth less money? According to an appraiser who will look at the data of the homes sold in the last few months, no, your home wouldn't suddenly appraise for less value. However, your home is suddenly much less affordable for a buyer. If your home is priced at $600,000 and a buyer was putting 20% down, their payment in early May with a 4% rate would have been around $2,300 a month for just principal and interest. But several weeks later, now in June, with a rate at close to 6%, their payment would now be close to $2,900 a month. That's $600 a month of affordability that those buyers just lost. So there are only two ways that you, as a home seller, can account for that. And that is to lower your price on your home or offer credit to buyers to buy down their interest rate, which actually could cost you less than a major price reduction or even a combination of both. So this is the main reason sellers are lowering prices on home to attract buyers. It's not so much that buyers can't afford the home or that we don't have buyers in the market. We do. It is just that they are very hesitant because of the uncertainty of the rates and the prices right now. So until we get some stabilization in rates and prices, then it is up to you as the home seller to market your home properly such that it helps a buyer to overcome their uncertainty enough to pull the trigger on making an offer on your home. So with our current market of volatility, how do you go about making sure you are doing the right things from the very beginning of selling your home so that you don't end up chasing the market, as many of our current home sellers are doing who listed when conditions were different in May? Number one, and absolutely number one always, is correct pricing. Make sure you have an agent who absolutely knows the numbers of the market, and not the monthly numbers, but those daily numbers, the daily price drops, the daily new homes on market, because the numbers from sold data alone from last month will have you pricing your home too high and sitting on the market. Pricing homes right now is a bit crazy. As I said before, the sold data from similar homes from last month will show one price, but buyers aren't paying the prices from last month since the rates rose so much. We don't have enough data from the last few weeks to be able to say with certainty that you should value your home at X% less than similar homes that sold last month. But you don't want to be chasing the market. So if you want to sell, you'll have to be aggressive on your pricing under last month's sold data. And again, we're not pricing under because of what an appraiser may think, but because of what the buyers can afford. So if the sold data from the last few months show that your home could be listed for $600,000, maybe based on your data that your agent can find from recent pendings and price drops, maybe you need to list at $575,000. It's easy for sellers to think, I should have sold last March, now I've lost $50,000 from last March. Listen, you didn't lose that potential money. You never had it in your pocket in the first place. But the majority of home sellers in the Boise housing market are getting hundreds of thousands of equity when they sell. So yes, maybe you need to sell your home for $50,000 less now than you could have last February, but you're still earning more money in equity than has ever been earned in the history of housing markets. So be realistic about how equity works and be ecstatic that you are most likely still going to walk away with a couple $100,000 in equity, and that's just from the last 2 years. If you get the pricing right from the get-go, you will still sell your home right now. And also keep in mind that selling your home in 2 days is not a normal market. If it takes a few weeks or longer to sell your home right now, it may not mean that your home was overpriced, but you do need to have an agent who is very, very mindful of the market, and you need to be flexible such that if we have an interest rate increase again in July before the next Fed meeting, that you respond to that with a price adjustment in your home. So number 2 in selling your house right now is always proper preparation and marketing. Buyers have many more homes to choose from now. Buyers are also needing a lot of motivation to pull the trigger and make an offer. If your house looks like it has fraternity house furniture and your cheap agent took pictures on a cell phone to try to save a few bucks, your house will not only get much less money, but it may not even get any showings. It's more important than ever right now to take care of all deferred maintenance before listing. Have your house decluttered, deep cleaned, windows washed, carpets cleaned, the backyard pristine, furniture set up properly, and of course, professional pictures, social media marketing, and all of that to motivate the buyer to just set foot in your house in the first place. I don't know what's going on, but I have seen more overpriced homes where sellers did very little to get the home ready for listing on our market this spring than I have ever seen before. It's like people are just throwing the house out there for an exorbitant price just to see if they can sell, and then they have to make major price reductions to come in line with reality, and even more price reductions to make up for their lack of properly preparing the home for listing. I know your home is full of your memories and all kinds of emotional attachments, but to the buyer, your home is the product, and a very, very expensive product, and you better be willing to present it to them in the best light that you can if you want to sell your home right now. So is now the best time to sell, or will prices keep dropping, so you better sell now, as some media stories like to say? Of course, the best time to sell is when it makes sense for you personally. And now is a good time to sell, as you can still maximize on the equity you've earned over the last few years. You're just going to need to be willing to price it correctly and prepare it properly. As far as trying to predict how it will be for sellers in the next several months, that's a bit tricky right now and will be highly dependent on the interest rates. I do think that we will have a slowdown of homes for sale coming on the market as we head to the beginning of the school year and into the fall, and possibly even an inventory shortage again in the fall. But with interest rates potentially being higher by the fall, buyer demand will also be down. So if inventory goes down with the demand going down, then the home prices should stabilize later this fall. They won't increase much. They won't decrease too much more if things stabilize. Keep your eye on unemployment, as job losses could affect supply and prices of homes. But last month in May, Idaho's unemployment rate was at a historic low of 2.5%. So in Idaho, we are not seeing any effects of unemployment and house sales right now. So you should still be able to get quite a bit of equity out of your home in the fall, but I expect things to be slower with buyers, and it may just take longer to sell your home. Oh, and one last thing for all sellers to consider. I've actually had quite a few people contact me about selling their homes when they have lived there less than 2 years recently. So please consult a tax professional. But if you sell your home when you've lived there under 2 years, you probably have a large equity gain right now. and you will have some kind of capital gains tax consequences if you sell before 2 years. So if you're thinking of selling this year or buying a home in the Boise area, reach out to us at summerastonrealestate.com, and we are happy to advise you on if selling or buying right now is the best option for you. We will keep you updated on the Boise housing market, the rising rates, everything that's happening with the prices, and all of that as things change. You can follow us on Instagram for more tips and local information. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.